Welcome, Ultimate fans, to sunny Sunday here at the Elite Invite 2024. The fields are plush, the teams are ready, so pull up a deck chair, slap on some sunblock and get ready to be dazzled by two powerhouses of the women's division. It is YAKA versus Jinx Midnight here in Leuven. Myself, Hannah Pendlebury, on the call alongside Stefan Rapazzo, and it is just dreamy conditions out here for a women's final. But let's talk a little bit, Steph, about the journey that these two teams have emerging from the same pool, Pool B, here at this elite tournament.
Yeah, they've had a heck of a journey to get here. They have crossed paths already on the opening day. Jinx went up big. It looked like they were going to take the wood early, and then YAKA came storming back. That one went to game point. An absolute thriller, and we're pleased to be getting that one back. A long history with these two, but Jinx, of course, have gone through undefeated with that victory. Their first one over Iceni 15-11, and another one, another Jinx one over Box 15-5 in pool play before they moved their way through the bracket, Hanny.
Indeed, and a part of any team's game plan has to be shutting down the stars of this Jinx Midnight outfit. They've got a couple of new folks to the roster this year. A lot of crossover, of course, from that German women's national team. Leuven, of course, coming across from the mixed division last season to join that fold for Australia later this year. But a lot of people pay attention, of course, to that number 17 you just see emerging into your shot there. Anna Gerner, of course, a real long-time Jinx athlete. But let's have a look, Stefan, at what happened on that very windy day in Bern at the last Elite Final back in 2023. So it was all about that match defense to begin the game. Of course, I said that very windy day. Some of the conditions were really, really difficult. And some intelligent switching off from the YAKA side gave them that early lead. There were no breaks given for the YAKA side in the end. And look at this from Babikian.
She just keeps getting better every second right now. Yeah, what a spectacular performance YAKA put on. Really decidedly changing the pace of the game with that zone when they put it on. It was a windy day out there in Bern, right next to the old Wankdorf Stadium, and YAKA just had Jinx's number 15-5. You're seeing the finishing touches about to come up here, but this will be in the back of Jinx's mind. They have been the team that's done the most shopping this year, pumped up their roster, and they think this year might be
on
it.
Your Elite Invite 2023 champions, a commanding performance, my goodness, a triplicate score, 15-5.
Well, a lot of the women's national teams represented both of these squads. Of course, Amand Babikian there, central in your shots. He got the breakout player of the year in the European Season Awards from 2023 and was the lead goal scorer both for the women's national team at EUC in Limerick, as well, of course, for YAKA at the EUCF. And they had a pretty good showing, did YAKA, of course. They didn't quite nudge themselves into the finals. That was a Jinx shout game that, of course, we had a rematch of in semi-finals here at the Elite Invite. But what a game we've had, of course. Games we've had across the course of this tournament. An 8-team division, which means that every game has had opportunities and chances to spoil and upset. Of course, I'm really excited to see how these two will tussle. We've not had any games to add to the EUCS ranking system, because of course it is all change in the formats to get yourselves to the championship finals, which will be held in Ostende. Of course, loads of Belgian tournaments this year. It's a lovely nation to visit and sandwiched between quite a few of these European ultimate playing nations, Steph.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see on In or Out tomorrow how this game affects the overall rankings and how it affects the teams that did not previously have a ranking, including these two. The game, very excited. Looking through the stat sheet here, Sarah Melvin, another one of the add-on players this year. 22 stats to her name, 12 goals and 10 assists. She's been pulling a major load. Of course, you expect to see Anna Gerner, 8 goals and 7 assists over the course of the weekend. It's been a heavy load pulled by the two of them. You look to the other side, Paula Bass, the veteran, 21 assists, leading all scorers in the division. And to go with her, Chloe Owe was really showing her athleticism in the few games I got to see her play, and has been an impactful part of YAKA making their way back to the final here at Elite Invite.
Two players that might not be such household names on the grass scene for the club season are Irene Gokalea from YAKA, of course, coming across from Spain, an amazing athlete on sand, had a really great performance last season, the EUCF European Beach Ultimate Club Championships with Guayota, and of course on the other side of things for Jinx Midnight, welcoming back to the fields Frederica Wagner, the coach of that gold medalist side in 2023 in Limerick, now returning to full capacity on the fields. And in the last matchup between these two very teams, Wagner got herself 2 assists and 2 goals. Really sits as that anchor on the D-line for Jinx Midnight. So we see them all getting ready, flags are waving, but just a little touch of breeze to keep things cool and calm here today. So we're going to get the highest level of offense, we hope, out of both of these teams.
Both indeed ready to fire. You're talking about the coaching. There's also some backroom coaching, the coaches, the tactical advisory at this stage. Ian French back home. Maybe we'll be watching, hopefully, the rerun of this, but Jinx definitely want to send some love back his way. They appreciate having him in their corner. Of course, we know what he does as a coach. He's got so much praise from the players that he's been at the helm for. And Ian French is coming over, partially with that Sarah Melvin part of the recruitment, I would imagine, and is offering his advisory to Jinx. So another ace in the sleeve there for Jinx. Looks like we're just about ready for this one, Hannah. How are you feeling? Excited about this?
How can you not be excited, Stefan? You have YAKA starting with the pole. That looks to be Caroline Tisson, of course, the German. Has been playing on this YAKA side. Of course, YAKA have all their Yakitos, their Yak Americans, all of their international fun and friends. But Jinx, they've got a lot of swagger, a lot of style here. Benji, can you repost the Wi-Fi? So, Paul will land out of bounds and give ideal field position for Anna Gerner. Of course, she was saying yesterday in their semi-final against Shout that she was being expected to be assassinated by that Italian zone. But got herself a lot of assists, a lot of goals rather than assists as a result. But that one, off to the races goes Sarah Melvin, but out of bounds. Huck, a rare error from that devilish number 17.
Yeah, not the optimal way to start. Set play to Melvin. You see a little bit of the breeze affecting the first throw there. And Tisson will be more than happy to see if she can bring it back the other way and start things off with a break for the Maison Rouge, the YAKA crew representing Noisy-le-Sec.
Not the first time Gerner and Melvin have played together. Of course, they were teammates at Eurostars 2019 roster. Tisson flirting with that inside break. De Laval going round, and it's a spoil, but Lewandowska is going to collect it and get things immediately back underway for this hold. High release, saucy flick, and Simona Liebert spinning all the way around and bumping on the floor. Not much more she could do to try and reel that one in.
I think there was a small discussion between Liebert and the YAKA player at the back of the end zone there, whether it may have been a foul. It was after the play, I believe, and it's been accepted it was with De Laval.
Yeah, Liebert had to really try and go backwards on that one, almost in midair. So I think she's saying that it's a fair fight between the two of them. Good clear. Lefebvre is just saying, excuse me, I'm quite free. Nice swing round, of course. Lacoste Lefebvre, big part of that under-20s women's side for the French nation at Padova last year that absolutely ruined the field. Really amazing play in that final. Now, Olivier dishes back to Tisson, of course, a Chloé Olivier, big part of that French women's side that we saw at Tom's tourney last weekend. I take that back, it's the mixed team she's playing for, but she was there. Must have been for YAKA then. I'm just so used to saying that these YAKA athletes are playing for the women's team. There's going to be an injury call though. Sarah Melvin walking off the field a little bit gingerly.
Jinx will hope that she's going to be able to make it back in. Everybody will be, but we'll keep an eye on that one. Got to give it to this Jinx O-line defense right now. They're making it very difficult for YAKA's D-line O to get anything going. Let's see if these subs help. Putting in Paula Bass, the stats leader of the tournament, can only help a D-line O regenerate some momentum.
And I have to correct myself actually. As soon as it came out of my mouth, Gokolea, who's currently on this pitch for YAKA, was of course not playing for Coyote, she's playing for Coracota, but that is a fantastic layup from Simone Liebert, using her full range to just knock that out of contention. And she's going to go for the bookends, nearly just shy of that goal line. About a metre off. Round to Volchak. Now Rumpelt. Sophie Rumpelt with the dad backhand to Gerner. Jinx Midnight looking for that isolation on the handler set. Very familiar feeling to how the German women's national team are running that set this year. Lewandowska now, formerly of Polish Ultimate fame, and that's going to be a big ask. Simone Liebert though, nearly with the collection in the back corner.
I would have guessed that was for Levka, and just a bit overshot. She would have been happy to turn that head to the right and see Liebert was going to give a second effort, and what a second effort. Just missed. That's the second time Liebert's hit the turf. Oh goodness, that's so close. A bit of a ground strip, and you can see she's feeling it. She's a bit winded and going off with the injury there. I would imagine she'll be fine. Just a couple minutes to get her breath back after hitting the ground twice. She did generate that D on the layout as well. So this first point, if it's any indication of what we're getting, it's going to be a heck of a fight all game long.
Well, this is definitely a long one. It's about twice as long officially as the first point of the previous game here at the elite invite between these two teams. And of course, Jinx took that second goal in a row on the previous matchup with a rather lengthy D point. But YAKA bringing it back in, and again, Paula Boss getting us underway. Gokolea stretching it to the deep space, but not required. Matthias underneath to Tisson. That one, lots of air underneath it. There's going to be a pit call as Chloé Olivier gets Rumpelt stuck in traffic.
Yeah, Chloé comes out there. The throw, I'm not sure. It must have been on Olivier, the pick. Rumpelt got stuck behind Gerner. Let's do it again.
Tisson. Back to Matthias. That flash across the mark, but no continuation upfield, so they're going to have to continue to play it between the two of them. Nice inside shot for Olivier. Little stumble from Matthias, but gets up easily.
Love how much work she put into keeping that pivot foot.
Oh, and Delaval with the snag on the far side, just keeping that alive as that scooped over the head of Paula Bass. An athlete who plays twice their stature is Bass. And that is a beautiful leading throw, and nearly there. Very unfortunate. A lovely idea cooked up from the hands of Paula Bass, but unfortunately their teammates did not connect.
Yeah, I think there might have been some visual doubt presented. Not sure if Chloé Olivier had eyes on it the entire path. She took one hard step, maybe looked up, tried to respot the disc with a defender in her way, and by the time she needed to throw her body, the disc just coming to ground too quick.
So, third attempt for the offense of Jinx Midnight. Already getting a grind Hopefully we won't have quite the shutout that the previous affair was at an Elite Invite Finals for these two.
Hopefully we get some goals.
I was going to say, well, it's 15-5, that final finish. Wagner, though, streaking towards the deep space. Lovely work there. Great peel off from Boss to make sure that Anna Gerner can't immediately run away with it and grab that score. Now switching off. Really solid match coverage from the Yakias. Oh, and that's a lovely little run through. Matthias just turns on the nitrous oxide jets. And she'll go to work with Olivier. De Laval. Back to Olivier. Oh, there's a tempting option over there. But chooses the conservative route, which we don't mind. De Laval now looking to make moves, going for that big swing. Unstable, oh, lots of pressure, a big pack, and a timeout immediately called by Anna Gerner, because this is turning into quite the elongated point. 10 minutes of game clock expired and no points on the board. Let's see how this one will pan out. Timeout in a 0-0 game.
Best 0-0 game I've ever seen, Annie. It really, like, I've never seen so much excitement for an action, layouts. I mean, we're not getting point changes, but possession changes. We're getting it all, and no team yet to put it in. I gotta say, the last possession, the YAKA switch defense as Jinx really opened up the field. They got the huck to Wagner. Gerner continued on. The YAKA switching defense really neutralized that score, what could have been a wide open leading throw. They were very smart with their switches. They got it back. Matthias with the interception back to the other end, and then Lev Kovalchuk with another pickoff, a last-second fingertip block away. Wow, exciting stuff. Gerner on that pickup calls the immediate timeout, and that brings us back to present. But yeah, Hart is picking up a couple beats per minute here.
Well, we do have a little bit of a Wall City sideline on the far side of the field. Difficult one with this Elite Invite format. Of course, the rounds of games, it's not always the easiest to support your teammates and the slightly staggered nature of these finals. But they'll, of course, look to Gerner to get us started again. But what a tussle in the early stages. Volchuk going for that lateral move from Von Stable. Wagner again opening up in the backfield. She'll have Tisson on the chase. Two absolute veteran athletes. Now solid switching again. Really good red zone defense from YAKA. She have to focus all the way to the bank and attack every disc. Lovely switch. Now back to Volchuk. Trying to isolate those handlers in space. Going for Gerner on Tisson. Lovely break. You can see still, even though this point is dragging on, how relaxed Jinx Midnight look. So points too relaxed though, and that one just dribbles out of the fingers of Von Stable.
Yeah, a little bit low for sure, the throw. But Von Stable won't be happy with herself to not be able to pick that up. But goal line to goal line they go. It's not quick possessions. They're marching it right in, and the red zone defense is winning this first point so far.
Oh, high one, but Goikolea finally collects. Now looking around, of course, Goikolea, a Basque surname from that region. Bas now, the Dutch player. Now Matthias. Bus with some dance moves. It's going to be a big swing across to Tisson. Gerner on the attack, puts on the pressure. Oh, and the little pop over the shoulder of the defender. Irene Goicolea punches the first one in the scorecard, and it's a break for YAKA.
What a first point. Tisson holding her medal there, staying focused and poised. Best player in Europe coming down on her, getting up just in front. Gerner got a fingertip to that, but Tisson, great job to clamp the crab claws around that one. Retained possession. Here's another look at it. This one, especially with all the turnovers we had, could easily have become the next in line, which would have been the 10th turnover of the point, but rather Tisson pops one over the top. Goicolea puts it on the board. YAKA open up the game with a break that takes a measly 14 and a half minutes.
I have to say, Steph, Statsman Sam's finger must already be tired from clicking and clicking and clicking and clicking the buttons on our stats system. Of course, massive shout out to DJ Tom Styles, creator of Commentary Source, the system that keeps our stats aflow and gets you all these lovely graphics that our hard-working Ulti TV team have put together for you as well. But I have to say, Steph, the big thing that stands out to me so far is the number of passes that were completed for each of those attempts at scoring. Double digits quite frequently from YAKA, which just shows how smother cover Jinx are when they play person defense to try and recover these O points.
Yeah, it is a true battle out there early. YAKA just hanging in there a little bit longer on that last point. High pass counts through some sequences. Jinx had lower pass counts across the board, but still managed to eat chunks of the field. Same 7 out there.
Lewandowska. Gerner in space, that's more like it. There's a pick elsewhere, so we might see that one reeled back into the hands of Lewandowska. If you dig into the annals of Instagram history, you can find a really cute series of stories about Gerner and Lewandowska's time in Chicago back in 2019. Of course, Lewandowska now living in the Canary Islands, moved away from Poland. Really enjoying the pace of life out there, allowing her to play a little bit more beach. Of course, she was with Toyota at their EUCF win last season. Gerner now rips the backhand open. It's going to be Volchak underneath it, just about makes it over the top, and a little head spike under double coverage of Volchak's sandwich.
Love the head spike, love the look. Gerner dials that one in, tests double coverage, but backs her receiver. Again, Levka Volchak, not the biggest deep threat, but obviously got the wheels and the athleticism, can read a disc, can body out, and she did exactly that, working mostly against Babi Kemba, but I think the presence of mind to know that the help defense was coming against her as well. And Levka Volchak, a absolute weapon, and Jinx deploying that weaponry there to get themselves on the board. One apiece on this Gerner to Volchak huck.
Well, of course, Volchak is no stranger to the upper echelons of European Ultimate. Has had a couple of seasons of doing a thing over in the USA, of course. Got a little flavour of that when she was hanging out at the Eurostars tour back in 2019. But it's been on our radar for a very long time. In fact, she was the first ever winner of the European Youth Player of the Year award back in the days in 2017. She won the female iteration. Of course, that award goes to one female matching and one male matching player. And it was Quentin Roger who won the other side of that one back in 2017.
Two names that are well established nowadays.
Yeah, so French and a German. We've got French and German action out here on the fields in front of us. Le Mercier on that far sideline with the eye black into Lacoste Lefebvre. We do have some love in our live chat as well from Lacoste Lefebvre. Swan Lacoste Lefebvre saying go YAKA. We unfortunately can't chat back with you at the moment. We'll try and get that technology as the season develops, who knows. Big Kier ready on this side, but it's Le Mercier on the far. This is solid containment. YAKA trying to isolate from the front of the stack to make moves, and you can see that poach off from Marlene Müller, making things difficult, really just allowing the lateral passive swing. See if they can frustrate this YAKA offense. De Laval coming in now. Love the way she plays, such a fiery athlete. Just the right amount of aggression. Goes for the point to try and then shoot that one up line. Nice find for Lacoste. Now Delaunay. Mabekon Diasson, the other of these under 20 players, now firmly placed in this YAKA side. Oh, solid handler coverage, really hard every pass for this YAKA side.
Solid handler coverage, but what a throw to go over Malika's head. That pop pass, impeccable.
De Laval inside break, Lacoste. Oh, and that is a lovely bit of exploitation of the soft side into Chloe Olivier for the goal.
Yeah, great goal there, great finish. Hold for YAKA this time. An offensive conversion, not an outline. We know YAKA plays split lines, XY, balance that can do everything is the plan. I go back to Mabekon Diasson and that pop pass. The defensive coverage was smothering. They absolutely reduced, limited the options. Kier struggled to get open. Here it is again. She finally did. Mabekon Diasson had looked away and then flips that one over the top. Well read by De Laval, but just a crafty throw by a youngster to get out of trouble. Great to see that at such a young age she's got those kind of tricks in the back pocket.
Oh, absolutely. We saw plenty of them in Padova. The 18-year-old Mabekon Diasson. I think you have to credit the wind conditions as well here. You would never have gotten away with that little pop dish back in Bern last season. That was just a real tour de force to try and play against the wind in the conditions at the Elite Invite last year. But beautiful fields, beautiful people, beautiful organisation. We've had so much love for Leuven after they had their first EUF event last year with the Spring Invite, which was a wet affair, but it's still very well organised by Jet Set. And it's going to be Jinx seeing if they can rocket their way to another offensive hold after that break they conceded in the first point. Wolfchuk thinks about it, dishes back to Gerner, and then squirrels away. Scala doesn't like the look. Lewandowska now, all the way in. Things a little bit static, but Scala, Austrian, now plays, of course, for that German national side. He's part of the bronze medalist side at the World Championships last year in Nottingham. Kumpelt, now back to Lewandowska. Soft pop pass, Lieber takes off and gets the bait out of contention, but that is a lovely read from Katharina Meisel.
Yeah, they're going to get it straight back. Lewandowska thought she liked what she saw in the end zone there, but Meisel maybe sneaking behind a defender, didn't see that red jersey. Meisel seemed to be in very good position to take that away from the get-go. She did turn away and peel off. In fact, if that was for Liebert.
I think it was Liebert, the intent. But, sorry, getting a little bit distracted by someone with a walkie-talkie talking to us here in the booth. Oh, lovely work from Castillo. Just about holds on. Sacrificing the body to try and snatch another break here. Mon Dieu, Rasta. Not really got the space to throw that inside break. Lewandowski holding it well, but she just about squeezes it out to Bus. There's a pit call, though, that will bring us back. Another friend from Eurostars program, Mon Dieu, as well, with Lewandowska. Got to know each other really well. That long tour, 17 days, 11 different cities and teams. Only dropped the one match against Raleigh's Radiance.
Well, I'll tell you what, I get to talk to Rasta, Elise Becker, and a bunch of YAKA this morning, had a little chat. we'll talk a bit more about that after the play.
Meisel. Oh, an easy dish to Babakian in the end, and that will be another break. YAKA taking charge here. 3-1.
3-1, and that's another break on the board, and that's what I was going to allude to in the conversation was, well, what are you guys going to do different to get up after Jinx got you on Universe Point earlier in this tournament? And it was quite simple. Don't give up 3 breaks in the opening quarter of the game. And, well, not only have they not given up any breaks, they are in the lead seat here with 2 breaks in the back pocket, a 2-goal lead, and set to receive the pull in the second half. They have shifted this pressure squarely onto the Berliners to respond in, these mid-quarters of the game. 3-1, you're talking about, okay, the second quarter of the game, but because that first point ran so long, we're 25 minutes in, Jinx already with a bit of pressure shifted their way.
Plenty of pressure, I'd say, Steph. I mean, we know that they can rise to the challenge. You can see there Nikki Prien in her number 2 jersey. She will be cleating up for Jinx Midnight later on this season, of course. Jinx Midnight, the reason Midnight's in the name this season is because it's this just representation of those of the Berlin side who really want to step up to the international stage, and those back home who just want to have that kind of more local presence entering the domestic season in Germany, where of course they do really well. A little point of correction for me though, it's Rally Phoenix, not Rally Radiance. Of course, Phoenix is the premier Ultimate League team in the PUL over in the US. So Lewandowska to Volchak. Of course, a world champion, Volchak in the club scene with Revolution.
U.S. champ, world champ. She's got a few European beach champs. She's got a few iterations of champ in front of her.
Oh, yes. And still loves the game, still has the drive, the hunger. It should be so easy to lose with such a decorated trophy cabinet. Wagner. Talismanic through to Gerner. Doesn't like the look of the flying defenders trying to prevent the pass through to Volchak. That's a lovely one to Simona Liebert in space. Volchak, big poached off. Has the space and releases to Wagner. A little bit of air bounce on that backhand, but fine enough for the touch. Oh, I love that faking. Really opens up the door to Gerner. Closed shut though by Elise Becquet. Stop that big around backhand break to going for the end zone. Now Lewandowska is going to drive through all the way around the world, goes the mark, collects every stamp in the passport. Of course, post-Brexit, I myself know that pain. No Schengen action. But most of these athletes, it's a case of getting a train here to Belgium. Gerner under pressure. Opens up the hammer, Liebert underneath it, and uses the height well for the easy goal on a high stall.
Yeah, it looks easy again, but I would say YAKA has some very good red zone defense again. The job Matias was doing in the dump space, very, very tight hand and pocket defense, preventing the dumps. Left to hammer over top to a desirable matchup. Liebert, the tallest receiver at the back of the end zone. Windless day, not well thrown hammer. All said, having to go over top as the only way into the end zone. I didn't see too many other clean options to go in besides taking that hammer. So credit to YAKA defense. But Jinx do answer the bell, hold their O, and pop one in, make it 2-3, still favored to YAKA.
Well, in terms of the way that the time is running by in this game after that very elongated start to it, we do have timed halves in the format here. Of course, the game's being played to a maximum score cap, that soft cap of 15 points total. Normally you'd get half time at the moment where the first team reaches 8 points on the board, but I suspect we're going to end up getting a +1 cap at half time. So when 40 minutes of this game has expired, you will play the point at which time it expires, and then you add 1, and that is your new half time tally. Lovely one-handed grab from Castillo, and then throws into the arms of Ortiz. Fantastic block from the Spaniard.
Bit of preservation of greatness there. What a catch. And then Ortiz right in the good spot to take it away.
Just holding firm. She faked it and thought that that was going to move, but the Berlin Wall of Ortiz just denying that presence. Inside shot, big pressure, but cannot stop Hannah Schrempf. Dishes back to Rosa Herkens. Of course, one of two Herkens siblings at this Elite Invite tournament. Other in the open division, but Meliga now. Oda Hornlong trying to get involved, but it's Marlene Muller. Has a little think about it. Meliga, plenty of space on that break side. Really nice movement and timing. Oh, and a low pivot again from Clara Herhold, and she gets her break for the team. The first Jinx midnight break of this game. Putting it back on level pegging, 3 apiece.
This seems a bit more like it, to see Jinx being able to break back. This is kind of what we've set ourselves up for, so I'm not surprised. Great possession there, great finish. I love the way it was bounced off the sideline quickly by Marlene Muller, right back into the corner, and Herhold again having a heck of a game, being able to contribute on the conversion side to make these breaks a reality. Ortiz getting in the way of Castillo there. Just great presence of mind. Castillo got up with, the tingles, the excitement of this catch, and wow, what a catch. But look at Ortiz just getting it. She gets in the way right after. Oh, goodness, what a catch, Castillo.
Well, she tries to shake off the mark of Ortiz with that big backhand around fake, and then the inside backhand release is really interesting. She doesn't kind of assumes that Ortiz is going to really bite on that hard, but she does the right thing, stays flat, stays big, and properly denies that. And let's get another look at this low pivot. Just sits the butt on the ground. That 21-year-old coming out of Leipzig, previously of Saxi Divers.
And Oda Holmlong there for the goal. Those Swedish legs don't stop running, it seems.
Well, this is a lovely team for her to play on. Of course, last season they had Sarah Yekland, who's taken a break from Jinx action this year, it seems.
I know one team should be on, though.
Kier has Lacoste grinding around. Oh, sneaks away up line, huge separation, leaving Schrempf for dust. Pit call will give us a moment of repose.
Love that cut by Lacoste and another crafty throw by Kier to get it over the mark. But Lacoste really working the stutter steps in the dump space and finding the right moment to cruise up line.
So Lacoste initiates Kier, replaced through by Delaval. Not too much action coming from the stack, but again Lacoste using that exceptional footwork and chopping around with the Tokai cleats. Inside to Chloe Olivier. Oh, that's such a nice diss. Muller with the layout, but cannot deny Elise Becquet. The hold for the French side. YAKA and Noisy-le-Sec punched that one in 4-3.
How is Swan Lacoste only 19 years old and has that kind of poise in these big moments, big games, sighting the inside throw, setting it up? It's just unbelievable. We talk about her experience in the youth age. She's living in Switzerland now, abroad studying to be a physiotherapist, comes back for all her YAKA trainings, but from the north of Paris, so had some association with Parisian Ultimate, even though not with Noisy until this year. But what a great fit for her. And she really looks like a very matured player out there for a player who is very clearly a young up-and-comer.
Absolutely. Really enjoyable watching her back in Padova, as we already mentioned. But I have to say, also, a little bit of a Houdini action. I completely just didn't realise earlier when I was saying about Swan Lacoste Lefebvre being in the comments of this live stream. She must have her mobile phone tuned in on the sideline somewhere.
Or her maybe has a friend. Shit. Yeah, surely commenting from the sidelines.
Absolutely. Definitely got their phone out. Because you'd never log into anyone else's account, would you?
Never.
Not like we do that all the time with Netflix. That's why they created the family plan, folks. Far side, Lewandowska. Von Steyboot through to Gerner. Babiquian taking the matchup of Simona Liebert. Pocket Rocket versus Limbs. Limbs 11. Von Steyboot in plenty of space though. Lewandowska with the chop steps. Now from the deep space comes Rumpelt. Oh, I love that little side saddle swagger from Lena von Steyboot. Such a flexible set of hips. Gerner on the far sideline. Plenty of room for Lewandowska. Now it's von Steyboot in that isolation. It's going to hit the far sideline. The wind is sort of a bit of a diagonal affair at the moment, right to left as your screens have it. But just making its presence known every so often. Caressing across the cheeks of the players on the field. Grind through for Gerner. Great matchup with Goikolea there. Now Lev Kovalchuk opens up a high release flick using the height advantage for Simona Liebert, and that is a lovely snag.
Yeah, Liebert really makes that throw look a lot better than it was. Goes up into 50-50. Again, a good understanding of who you're throwing to. Seeing that matchup, trusting your receiver, backing the height, putting it high. Yes, Babican was in that picture, but Lev Kovalchuk knows what she's doing, throws it high, and gives the trust ball to Liebert, and Liebert rewards her for it, says throw that anytime, I got you covered if you put it in the sky. And there's the grab high. He's talking about those limbs earlier, in full use there to get up and over.
Well, Liebert has been playing for Jinx for many, many years now, from back in the day when she was a junior, and of course made that World Games roster alongside many of the athletes for Jinx currently out on the field.
They didn't do so bad at the World Games, that German team, did they?
Well, my favourite thing about the World Games game where they beat the USA, Stefan, was the fact that I actually was allowed to do play-by-play on that game. So, it's probably going to just be a nice little warm-up game, and then they just went out and just smashed them. It's great.
Yeah, they really stuck it to USA. One of the very few teams who gets a victory against USA at a level like that.
Chloe Olivier on that far sideline has Le Mercier. Actually, no, that's not Le Mercier, that's Emma Delaunay running underneath. Of course, with that fiery hair. Lacoste Lefebvre through to Mathias. Lacoste with, again, that lovely dynamic footwork. Definitely runs lots of T drills when she does her field practice, I'm sure. Now it's Delaval on the far sideline. Has Delaunay stretching deep, but now back underneath. That was going to spoil. She kicks it out of her own hands. A low throw from Jean Delaval.
Yeah, tough one to handle there. Delaval was well positioned mechanically, had the stretched out foot on the pivot, but maybe the wind pushed her down a bit too far. Delaunay could get hands on it, but understand why that one was bobbled because of how close to the ground she came in.
So another opportunity here for Jinx to try and claw their way back on top in this game. They're currently down one break. As YAKA, of course, took that advantage by breaking to start off the game in that 9 turnover point. Since then, we've only had 2 turnovers total, and those have been the clean breaks to follow. Wagner on the far sideline with the ballet toes, but not quite able to work it out.
Second chance to hold as such. A nice sighting there, but the sideline came too quick. Wagner very quick to come to admission that
you can see the tape move. That's and on the line. If you're unaware of the rules of the sport, if your foot is on the line when you make the reception, you are out of bounds.
And 1 in, 1 out, also out.
Lacoste through to Delaval. Low for Olivier, but all fine. Taking that matchup, that big wingspan of Wagner. Now Toussaint. High release backhand. Oh, look at the space. Chloe Olivier just running away from her matchup, and that will be a hold for YAKA. 5-4. This game continues.
Yeah, hard fought hold there, giving up the turn on the low throw. Delaunay couldn't handle, fighting, getting it back by virtue of the out of bounds, helping them out. And second time of asking. Great work, great finish by those two. Olivier tiptoeing in and statting up another one to her name and having a great game to start off this final.
Well, that's our first turnover that's not been punished, Steph. Every time that a team has turned over on their first opportunity so far in this game, they have conceded a break. So that's the first recovered point of the game.
Very interesting. Thanks for keeping us up to date with all that, Hannah. Of course, our great work again by Statman Sam. Love having the statistics. Helps us bring all this wonderful info to you and lets you really get into the meat of this game, Hannah. Get the steak knives out and cut it down. Feel all the tender bites.
Boss with a big old hanging pull. It's going to sit into the hands of Lewandowska. Gerner needing to make moves to get that first pass out. Liebert Akers free underneath. Of course, now it's going to be pushed towards the disc because she's proved herself a dynamic target in the deep space. Oh, that's a lovely inside-out curving backhand. Flora Scala misses it though. What a shame. Nearly goes for the second attempt, but that's a bad miss.
Yeah, tough one. Paula Bass was coming, but Scala did do enough to maintain position and get two hands on it. And it does just slip through there. Almost a second effort available, but not quite. And that one's going to go back to YAKA for a break chance. Game of inches, sometimes even less.
Yeah, just that hands a little bit too close together. Ends up clawing at the underside of the disc rather than clutching around it crocodile style. Meisel. Going to be a brief call. Perhaps a travel of some variety or pick. Good use of hand signals to let us know what's going on. That's a big lead, but great hands from Katarina Meisel. Of course, we know she trains both of her right and off hands. Good way to actually improve your brain's connection with your dominant hand is to use your off hand for the tasks that you regularly do.
I brush my teeth lefty.
Rasta puts that around. Babiquian just peeling out. Bus through to Goicolea. Goicolea has a little look at over the shoulder for the give-go. Meisel receives the inside point and shoot from Rasta. Meisel now throws that inside, but it just about misses the hand of Mondiaux, who had to set off from static to go and collect that one. Bolchuk, not going to chuck it deep, just throws that inside sinker. Jinx Midnight making great use. Lovely catch there from Flora Scala after her earlier misfortune. Gerner now. Not too much movement. Again, coming from the stack for Jinx Midnight. They're more than happy to let their handler set do the driving of the bus. Oh, tempting opportunity there for Von Steyboot, but stays with it. Volchak all the way around. Now can they hit the brake side? Oh, they can. It's Simona Liebert. Nearly has to go down. Flirting with that high released. Now Rumpelt through to Lewandowska. Big backhand scoop, and that will be the hold for Jinx Midnight. So second dirty hold in this game in a row.
No dirty holds to start things off. Back-to-back dirty holds to keep it rolling. The turn there, Meisel's low throw to Rasta was, as they were getting going, they were just getting some rhythm. That one goes to turf, and then Jinx, seamless, going back the other way, showing some patience, going back and forth. Lots of touches and no urgency when that one went towards Liebert in the corner. I thought it may have been pressed in too quick, but they went back through all the hands, and then the Lewandowska to Gerner. Another hold.
And we have ourselves, Stefan, a galaxy point, because time cap was applied during that one. So you add one to the highest score. The highest score is currently 5, because we're 5 apiece. So it's +1. So 6 will be the half-time goal, as we get a little look from Anna Gerner towards our booth. She's such a beautiful athlete to watch out on the field.
Yeah, she gets a lot done out there. Easy to watch her play.
Well, we have ultimate players that are pretty boys and handsome girls, but when we talk about it, we just mean the way that they play, the style, and the commitment, the intensity, and the embodiment of intensity. Emma Delaunay with this YAKA eye black strength on the mark, switching off from Lacoste Lefebvre. I'm so excited to watch Lacoste Lefebvre over the next decade or so as her career develops. She's going to be one of the best already in contention for that title as it is. Of course, had that final last season, well, not last season, 2 seasons ago at the World Joint Junior Championships. A final against the USA, who often just dominate the juniors divisions. They tend to clean sweep, but the French made it very difficult for them in both divisions back in 2022.
Tricky zone to break right now for YAKA. Jinx are tightening up around the handle space. They've got 5 in a box. It looks like a 2-3-2 with a mid-row pushed right in. So let's see how YAKA continue to deal with this.
Well, slowing the pace down, of course. Last year it was all about the zone that YAKA applied to Jinx, really nullifying the options. You see Ortiz in the back section just marshalling down. Now it's Meliger that's deepest. Now the jailbreak might come through. Kier working with Olivier, but good containment.
And I thought Olivier could have given a very good option there.
That one's a little bit too low though, and a spoil. Lacoste Lefebvre makes a rare error, and an opportunity here for Jinx to put us back on serve at the moment. The game, if we just traded out, of course, would go in YAKA's favour, but they also get that 1-0 starting on offence in the second half. So they got the break to open up the proceedings here. Meliger underneath. Schrenz doesn't turn around. Ortiz thinking about getting involved, but just lets the sets at the back work it. Oh, that's a big gainer. Matthias nearly steals it, but Hornlong with a huge backhand. Ortiz underneath it. Can she get there? Yes, she can, but she's just out of bounds.
I believe that's well assessed. I think had she caught it on the initial grab, she may have had the feet down. Now they're discussing if the contact was part of what created that bobble, but it's hand signaled as a turnover. That seems about the way I had it assessed in my head.
Yeah, fantastic put from Oda Holmlund, but just a little bit too much spice on it. Ortiz, you can see she attacks it well, but just bobbles it. But I mean, she does manage to still get the disc eventually and tries everything she can to get those toes down. What a play. Delaunay getting us back in action. And we see the reapplication of the zone. Hopefully all the athletes are reapplying their sunblock as well, because it is very warm and very sunny. early May conditions here in Belgium.
Tight windows they're throwing through. It's a efficient German zone, no surprise.
It's nice to see the sort of organic mechanism of that front of the zone, though, sort of really switching in and out to nullify the crashes. There are spaces around and over the top.
If they want those risky throws, the targets are certainly open.
Care now. Oh, that's a big old boost. Olivier has steps on Ortiz. Not going to quite make over the goal line, but that is a huge shot coming out of Rika Kier. How she makes the catch layout again, putting the team on her back a little bit. Kier, of course, has been playing with YAKA for quite some time. There's going to be a call, though. It looks like an injury. Kier just caught herself a little bit funky.
She was struggling before the game with the knee, wondering, in fact, if she would play. It was a decision that was going to come from the warm-up. I guess felt good enough in the warm-up, gave herself the green light, but has aggravated that knee, and she'll take a break. I loved that throw by Kier to Olivier. It was beautiful on the strong side of Olivier, and what I really liked as well, Mathias was winning that race into the end zone. The throw didn't go, but just really stretched out the defense in pursuit and gave a chance to, okay, regenerate, work back to your dump space, but really just kept Jinx guessing. Now we get a stoppage, and everybody should be coming back with a clear head and hopefully a nice plan.
Delaval pops through to Tisson. Nice left catch. High release backhand. Oh, big pressure. Just about snatches it, does Mathias, under the poach from Wagner. Delaval then opens up the cannon, and it's Order Homlo with the block. Lacoste Lefebvre will have a little think about it and a short discussion.
So she is indicating that she's going to call the foul. Homlong came through. I thought it did go through her hands. I'm not sure if I saw the initial contact. Looks like her reenactment is saying coming through the back. Let's have a look. De Laval sets up, and tough for us to get a clear look with that shot, but there was some contact. That is evident. Did it affect? Was it? It looks like it is retracting. Here's another look from the other camera.
I mean, you've got Lacoste Lefebvre having to kind of turn the body in towards Hormlong because of the execution of that throw. A spicy shot for sure, because Lacoste Lefebvre is brilliant, but so is Order Hormlong, that Swede. He's played for the national side, coming out of Kfum Opro. And of course, no Valkyria for the second season in a row, so she's free to play for this Jinx Midnight side once again. Meliga, the neurologist. Oh, that's a lovely release into her hold. Oh, Wagner puts that one up for Ortiz, and it's going to be a break to take off the Jinx Midnight. 6-5, and we are back on serve, folks.
Break to take half. Everything is just working out this game. YAKA will come out, receive the disc. We're on serve. We're getting it in dribs and drabs. Early isolated breaks for YAKA. Late isolated breaks for Jinx. Back on serve. Slight advantage for the Berliners, but this one is going to come down to the wire.
Well, it has to be mentioned though, Steph, if this one does trade out, it will still be YAKA taking the title home to Noisy-le-Sec, because when you get the break point to start off a match, you put yourselves on the board first, you put yourselves in the lead. That's why we have the changeover at halftime, to kind of nullify that effect. But don't go anywhere, folks. At the moment, it is all anyone's game. Who is going to snaffle the first championship of this season? Find out in a few minutes.
Come on, break!
Second half about to get underway here in the women's division final at the Elite Invite 2024 Leuven. Field conditions are perfect for a game of ultimate. Just the gentlest of throwers' breezes. And we are delighted to bring you this coverage. YAKA took first blow in the game, that long drawn out 10-minute point with 9 turnovers total, but Jinx have started to make the correct adjustments, back themselves, and you can see Wagner there, that coach of that gold medal winning team alongside Marco Müller, now taking to the field this season. Getting us underway.
The wind we've mentioned is probably at its strongest of the day right now, blowing right to left on your screen. Certainly a wind that most throwers will be able to throw through, but it should have some effect. I suspect we're going to see more zone.
Delaunay over to Matthias. To Mondiaux. No flash in from the cup. Just playing a bit of containment. Oh, that's a lovely find now, Paula Bus. They just work on this near sideline. Well, this zone is, I'm not sure what the game plan of it was, but YAKA have no issues destroying it whatsoever, and Delaunay collecting in open acreage in the goal.
Yeah, that was a simple task for YAKA to figure out that challenge of the zone. There were a lot of options, a lot of holes in the zone, and this time picked apart, wind at their back. So a little extra confidence on the forward throws. But here's another look at how it ends. Matthias to goal there for Delaunay, but really there's some passes with no stall count and no one in the picture.
Yeah, very bizarre scenes. I think I'm not a huge fan of that really loose mark, especially on the handler set of YAKA. They are the kind of caliber of throwers that they are just going to throw. Yeah, sure, fine. You're like a meter, 2 meters away from me. Still closely covering enough to be applying a stall count, but not closely enough to be really applying the kind of level of pressure that's going to get you a gold medal finish here at the Elite Invite.
Six. Nothing between these two teams but a field proper and a whole bunch of dreams. Whose will come true?
Yeah, will it be a sweet dream or a beautiful nightmare? Lewandowska hoping it's going to be a Berlin best show. Von Steyboot popping back. Things very static upfield now. Volchak will try and emerge, but they exploit the poach. Pierre back on the field, so clearly that bosh to the knee from the layout catch has all been settled now. Gerner now. Rompelt stretching towards the deep space, getting a little bit of a collision with Libert, who gallops underneath. Those long limbs. Oh, that's a beautiful disc from Flora Scala, and Von Steyboot reads it beautifully over the shoulder. It goes and sinks. What a throw from Flora Scala.
Yeah, love the throw, but the adjustment on the other end, Von Steyboot did a great job. If she would have went up and tried to take it at its peak, I think defense was in a better place, and she may have been out-dueled. But the late adjustment, the lefty 180 spin she puts on, does her great service, being able to get the trailing edge as the defense jumps themselves out of the picture. Here's another look, Scala throw. And you see Kier on the chase, all eyes on Diz trying to go up early, and that late adjustment there, Von Steyboot wins the disc.
Well, and we can bring you the result of the bronze medal match that's just wrapped up, on the field behind us. That was a tussle between BFD Shout and Moon Cup. Before I reveal, Steph, what do you reckon?
Well, I mean, on paper you would think BFD Shout would win that. Are they going to still stay hot after their disappointment of not being in the final is the question. Normally Italian teams do rally and play for their placings well, so I say yes. Yeah. BFD Shout would win.
I can reveal, close your ears if you don't want spoilers, plug them with your fingers. It's a 15-10 victory to BFD Shout over Moon Cup, who I know was sorely disappointed with their performance in semi-finals yesterday. Mon Dieu, big ripper backhand. Oh, it's a classic. It's Castillo underneath it. Can she make the play? Oh, what pressure from Oda Hornlong.
Yeah, everything was good about that. The throw, maybe just a tiny bit too much on it, gave Castillo a chance. The back line came awfully quick, but as did Oda Hornlong's pressure defense from the other side, making it very difficult for Castillo to find a way to get feet down with plastic in hands. You see how close she was to that. Close, but no cigar for YAKA this time. Chance for a Jinx break.
Well, the last matchup between these two teams was all about going on little streaks of three. Pitcool is going to bring that one back, I'm sure, to Clara Hernhold. That Saxi diver, Pizza Volante, Leipzig player. Still living in Leipzig, just travelling across to add a little bit extra to this Berlin side. And she'll be playing for the women's team as well in Australia later on this year, using that big frame. There's Ortiz on the far sideline, back to Meliger, formerly of BFD Shout. Back when they were known as Kursk. Oh, that's a beautiful shot from Frederica Wagner. What vision to find Ortiz. Not sure who the matchup was there, Steph, but they got caught sleeping.
Yeah, Ortiz wide open, and another hot forehand out of Wagner that is really stretching the defense there. Ortiz is recruited to be here because of her speed, showing it there. All sorts of separation, and a Wagner throw that will exploit any separation given. So great break by Jinx. Just keep my eye on things. I do believe Sarah Melvin, she's flipped the cleats off in favor of a pair of running shoes, so the knock she took early was enough to limit her to sideline only. So Jinx normally rotate 8 in their O-line, will now have a very clean 7, doing all the work every time they receive a pull.
Well, Ortiz coming across, still living over in Tenerife. She's not moved to Germany, but who turned down an opportunity to join a elite women's club program like Jinx Midnight? Very few. Of course, was part of the Spanish mixed team, got its second place at the World Beach Ultimate Championships 2023 back in LA, and those European Championships both back to back on the club side with Coyote on the beach. And we're getting real beach vibes for the conditions here. Just the weather, it's absolutely lovely. And we're on a proper little frisbee holiday today.
I love it.
Kier. Through to Matias. Delaunay trying to tempt that roll curve forehand. De Laval over to Lacoste Leuven. Cheeky inside to Chloe Owe. Oh, I love that jab step, but the spoil. Fantastic footwork, but the hands left something to be desired there from Jean de Laval.
Yeah, throw just a bit inside, but right off the hands, should have been clasped. Tight defense indeed, making it a bit more pressured, but should have had it.
Hornlong, off she goes. Really solid attack of the disc there, just keeping the defenders on the back. Oh, and that's a little bit risky and spicy, but can they do it? No, it's a double block for YAKA. Fantastic work from Chloe Olivier.
You know, you always play your best defense when you assume any responsibility for the turnover. Sure, just De Laval may have had some part, but Chloe Owe had the throw, and right there, double D'ing to get it back.
Yeah, risky biscuit there from Oda Hornlong for sure. An accepted foul Ortiz getting a little bit too much of a piece of Olivier, but a lot of respect between those two after Olivier's D. There was a little hand slap of nice play, game respecting game from Ortiz. And a hand block from Marlene Mola. Not even a dominant hand as it would be for most people, because Mola is a lefty, but that one just about kept.
Marlene Mola.
There's going to be a discussion about this, because of course when she actually had possession of the disc, that clap catch, her back shoulder surely would have been on the tape, Stefan.
Yeah, this will be a very interesting one. Let's have another look. It was great block by Mula to get the right hand out. When she gets the return throw, the bobble, is she lying down by the time she actually has possession? That shot right there. Okay, the shot does go back and we get it, and by the time she is, I do believe she's on the line. We'll see if we get another angle here.
Well, we have a lot of sideline players over there who probably got a very good angle, just their own natural eyeballs, without us having to use the VA. But we will have another look at it anyway. What a spectacular recatch that was.
I think that was on the line by my estimation as well. I think that one's got to be assessed as out. They're working it out. They will come to their own conclusions as always. Anna Garner did have a look at the tape, and I think she was in agreement as well.
Well, let's get the high angle. I mean, to be fair, the thing we don't have from this angle on this side of the pitch is whether or not she was able to tilt up when she actually made the catch. So that's the additional information that the players currently on the sideline over there. They'll know if there was enough separation. There was definitely contact with the tape, but there's also the potential for a force-out call there as well. Steph, it's going to stay with Marlene Muller. That's a decision they've made on the field. Perkins, big old poach off from Tisson. Marlene Muller happy to take that though. That's one of her favourite throws. Oh my goodness, a throw on the bounce from Fanjagovic. What a lovely piece of work from that athlete. Of course, another Canary Islands folk, but living in Berlin. She is a native German, is Fanjagovic, but great effort.
First proper run of the game now, 3 in a row, 2 breaks. A little bit beneficial there, that one speculative at best, but it was decided and oh so close. Marlene Muller did set that up with a fantastic hand block, really reading Tisson and taking that right step, and Marlene Muller starting off the distribution here. Givic, Ortiz, feet down, and they are feeling a surge of momentum into this second half.
Oh, absolutely, Steph. They are running away with that point and potentially the game if they can keep this charge up. It was a lovely throw in flow as well. Just the perfect one you can do, like kind of that that soft release. It's so difficult to do that on the run when you've just received a break pass that's kind of around the mark, to just hold your form and release a soft backhand. So many times that momentum can really snap out.
So just a quick bit of info, there was a foul called before the out call. That is why they kept on going and Jinx retained possession.
So indeed the foul out. 'Tis as I feared. So that's a high lofty one that's going to be scooped up by Oda Holmlong. A little bit of trying to throw themselves out of jail perhaps for YAKA, but they might have now put themselves to concede a break. Clara Herhold through to Holmlong. Oh, that's a beautiful backhand from Oda Holmlong, and it just about gets run down. Masha Teleshina, just a single hand snatch to finish that off.
Teleshina, left hand casual grab at the hips there, makes it look oh so easy. I would have wanted a bit more urgency about it, but she knows what she's doing out there, taking care of it, cashing in goals. Who am I to tell people who are doing things right how to do them any different? But the throw from Holmlong is the story about the success and why this catch was made to be able to come in quite. Like, there's still a little reach forward. I understand why it was made, seeing it the second time, but Oda Holmlong dropping bombs, and that's enough to have YAKA thinking about things and taking a timeout.
Well, I think the thing that really is making them have this timeout was the fact that they threw that sky ball up and Holmlong was the one to deny it. So double happiness for the Swedish import, But grab yourself a refreshment. We're going to take a quick break here. This game will continue. Can YAKA claw this one back? Jinx leading 10-6.
Get there. Yes, he will.
The lovely did.
Leuven hosting the Elite Invite 2024, and we have an absolutely scandalously game in front of us. What a change of fortunes from last year's Elite final in Bern, Stefan. That was a 15-5 win for YAKA, and at the moment Jinx look to be doing the same kind of damage to this Noisy-le-Sec team.
Yeah, not quite as severe. You see there the break chances almost level, only one difference, 8-7. Jinx lead that, but it's the conversions 5-2 for Jinx that is the big difference here. Jinx able to make YAKA pay a bit more for their mistakes.
So we all shift along, so Hannah will be doing my job, which is your guys.
So YAKA coming out, match coverage, the name of the game so far. We've had a little bit of zone coming out from Jinx. A little bit of poaching action, sagging into the lanes. And now it does indeed look to be another Jinx zone. Even though the still conditions are very much here to stay over the course of this game. Putting a little bit more pressure on though. Previously when Jinx played their zone, they were very far away on the mark. Trying to just contain Ortiz there, trying to put that hand in. Oh, and the her hold cannot catch up. Chloe Olivier again hitting that deep space. We find her with ease now. Lacoste Lefebvre looking for Delaunay. Stutter step, has to grind up line. Hong Long putting huge pressure on Pierre.
How did Kier handle that one? Unbelievable.
She's an absolute boss, that's why. But that's an amazing poach block for Marlene Müller again. That's her second block of this game.
Marlene Müller, defensive reads right now, fantastic. Just poaching off Swan Lacoste just enough, reading the wind-up, stepping in the lane. What a play by Marlene Müller.
Opens up that big backhand all the way to Ortiz. Oh, that one slices through and away from Meliga though. Missed opportunity. And I have to say, I kind of hope YAKA punch this one in, because all we want as Ultimate fans is a close game that goes all the way to Universe.
Well, they've got a long way to go, but it could well start with one more point.
Well, it's been 4 on the trot for the past section of play for Jinx Midnight, and we know that YAKA are capable of doing exactly the same if they can find that little bit of magical something. Chloe Olivier, not really any action coming out of the stack. Gonna have to have the grind. Mathias, nice little bit of footwork there. Delaval thinking about it, but you can understand why, with the way that Jinx is playing in defense, that they don't want to throw too many of those inside shots. Just keep the disc safer going for those arounds. Mathias now staring down the stack. Oh, a trust throw into space. Delaval has to attack it and just about makes it. Not quite in the end zone, I don't think. And it's called a goal from the far sideline by the YAKA player.
I certainly don't have best perspective, but I thought the toe drag was sufficient there. I did seeing that orange cone there in the corner. My belief was that Jean Delaval did a pretty good job dragging the toes and making it a goal, and they've accepted that now. Another close one. Here's another look.
You can see that it's really fantastic attention and focus there from Jean Delaval. I mean, we're not surprised. She's an absolute legend, but challenge you have when you're on offense is to make sure that you stay in bounds. And the way she kind of curls her body, that scorpion move, just shows that flexibility, that awareness. But Magdalena Müller coming off the pitch for a very well-deserved rest right in front of our booth, having absolutely boshed that disc out of the sky. They couldn't do anything with it, but Jinx still threatening those breaks, but that should steady the ship a little bit for YAKA. Their first point in a long while, just their second in this second half.
Yeah, a couple really strong grabs over the course of that point. The Rekekjør grab in great contested defense. Tisson made another one. They were really fighting for this. Here's the drone angle. Great, and I do believe that toe was dragon. And there the drone shot gives you a great angle of how the body alignment was in regards to that corner, that goal line.
One day, Steph, one day when we have all of the funding in our sport, we'll have 21 camera views, things on like 3 drones, things on ropes. It'll be a whole vibe, and we'll be able to bring you those toe drag swags. I think you're right, there looks to be a little clip down on that one from Jean Delaval, just showing us the kind of boss that she is. So, Jinx's O-line, haven't seen them in a little while.
YAKA showing at least a sag off the handlers, but it is match defense upfield.
12 just floating back in, but with the margin that they have, Jinx under no pressure to really move the disc super quickly, because of course they've only got just under 6 minutes, left on the regulation time clock. These games being played to 80 minutes in total. To get a little look at the back of Babiquin.
The iconic hair.
It's such a good look. Oh my goodness. Well, that is 2 players that know each other exceptionally well, but the ground strip, the miss. Actually, no, that's not a ground strip, that's just a drop from Simone Liebert.
Yeah, in the movement of launching herself, Meisel was really just trying to read Liebert there. Liebert did have eyes on the disc, took that left turn at the right moment to throw. Just a bit off, pittered away to that right sideline, more than Liebert could correct for. Here's one more look as it just slips away, trying to find her feet.
Rasta, Ali Mondiaux on that far sideline. It's of course a very hand-heavy team. You've got Meisel, Bas, Rasta, really able to throw whatever they like, whenever they like. And Castillo racing towards the deep space, has Gerner just keeping an eye. A little big poach off in the lane there from Gerner, now recollects. You can see the way she really does shake off defenders with those backhand hops, but this time doesn't try the inside shot. Learns the lesson from before. That's a lovely up line for Paula Bas. Castillo completely available laterally.
Castillo running circles out there right now.
But it's Goicolea in the end zone. Absolute sitter of a throw from Paula Bas. You could spread that on a bit of baguette and eat it every day of the week, Stefan.
Yeah, Bas getting fired up out there. Great leading throw. Floats it up well. Goicolea all alone in the end. The work Castillo was doing on that point with Anna Gerner on her, one of the premier players in the world, and was running circles, no fear of who the defender was, upline cuts, return cuts. She was all over the place trying to make herself available anywhere, and what I think she did really well was when she went deep and wasn't hit immediately, she got back under right away and got Anna Gerner out of the deep space, making sure there was no cleanup option for help defense.
So Jinx now back out on offense again. That's a break for YAKA. They're going to need a couple more to take back control of this game, though. A fantastic start. And just about 3 minutes left of regulation time here. Cap rules as standard, +1 to the highest score. That's your new winning tally. The lovely, exciting feature of Ultimate being that you have to score that final point. Last time it was Jinx Midnight, who took that final point, 14-13. So YAKA saying Aki, Aki, here and now, right here, right now, like the song says. But
Fatboy Slim.
indeed. Gurnet surveying in centre field.
YAKA clearly happy to go back to the defense that just generated a break for them.
Absolutely. Lewandowska through to Gurnet out. Nice find for Levka Volchak. Flora Scala is going to attempt it. Oh, and the throw is there. That's way too early from Levka Volchak. Flora Scala is such a pacey athlete. Really difficult to overshoot her, but that one was just too tempting for Levka Volchak.
Yeah, the separation towards that end zone certainly would tempt. Levka also had just enough throwing room as Olivier over pursues and backs off. A throw, you're going to want to throw. Every time she'll want that one back. Put a little less spin on it, maybe a bit more shape, but it's a throw you got to take.
You can really see the difference there between if you throw a backhand roll curve, that outside in shape on it, rather than that real laser. Like you say, a lot of disc speed on that huck. You have plenty of time and separation, and also Jinx have been more or less winning those battles when there's a disc that has a little bit of float going towards the end zone, but it's Anna Gurner sneaking through and immediately punching that one in the goal to Simona Liebert.
Yeah, a bit of a different version of the snake in the grass there on the defensive side of things. Anna Gurner maybe not seen between the red jerseys in that tight space coming out of the end zone, snuck right in, ripped it out of the sky, and immediate break conversion the other way.
We don't talk about it enough, Steph. We don't talk enough about how good Anna Gurner is at defense.
I think we do, but we can talk about it more.
No, because as in just enough for the level of how good she is. Like, obviously you put her on your O-line because of how good she is with the disc, the way she moves, but her game vision and her sense, it's just... Oh, it's so good because she just really recovers point after point. You see it when she plays for Germany Women. You see it when she plays for Jinx.
Player of the year for a reason. She is a just
runner-up.
Runner-up
to Charlotte Schall.
Yes,
How is that happening?
Yes. But she was #1 on the top 25 list. That is correct.
Yes.
The awards love that these are all coming up. But, of course, her defensive abilities uncanny. Anna Gurner can certainly do it all.
Yeah, it was by a hair that decision was made. I think it went to Charlotte Schall just because of the fact that she just did not really leave the pitch for that bronze medal win for the under-24 side, and then immediately almost had 2 weeks rest, went off to go and play the European Championship after that. But lots of the players here did a very similar affair. Babiquian, of course, the youngster, they didn't put a youth team into the under-24s division for French Ultimate. They just decided to commit to the seniors game. Rasta going up line. Oh, that's a lovely inside shot from Paula Boss. Great continuation as well. Goikalea with the vision this time rather than the goal, and Castillo will collect.
Yeah, good finishing touches. I liked Jinx was switching well in the handler space. Mula and Herkins were trading off handler assignments, but as soon as they did break through that flat, saggy, poachy D on the handlers, then YAKA found the space and a nice finish, 8-11. Surprising, I never mentioned the potential for Slurpees only moments ago, but sometimes you can't get them all in.
Oh, mate, with a good game, that's what happens. So that is 11-8 game to 12 now here in the women's final. So the job to do for YAKA, of course, Jinx Midnight is the only team to be undefeated thus far in this championship. YAKA only had the stumble, of course, to Jinx in the pool stages, Pool B. But every team in this Elite Invite event in the women's division with a win to their record. 1 and 5 for Box Vienna, Iceni and Jet Set. Moon Cup, 3 wins, 2 losses. BFD Shout, the same record. East Block, 4 wins and 2 losses, but a crucial loss, of course, in quarterfinals. And YAKA will roar down the sideline to try and generate that extra bit of pressure, that 8th person defense.
Championship point for Jinx.
Lewandowska. Big around to Levka Volchak. Is she going to be tempted? Halcyon Liebelt, but great poach off from Polar Bus to make that look much less attractive than it otherwise would do. Volchak makes the layout. Oh my goodness, action roll, snag. Hannah Kerner now. Flora Scala going to the break side deep. Oh, surely that looks perfect. And it is. Flora Scala rips that one down. 12-9. What a reversal from last year's final. My goodness. Jinx Midnight, your new Elite Invite champions.
Punch their ticket through. They're going to EUCF. I don't think there was ever any doubt, but the guarantee always helps things out. A wonderful game point there. Levka Volchak goes into full gymnast somersault mode there to keep that one alive. The layout pickup great, the recovery even better, and the finish. Scala, she's been using her speed, showing it all day long. It is the difference maker and the game-winning point. And as you said, a full reversal of fortunes from last year's Elite Invite coming into this one. Jinx, get a bit of revenge, take the championship here, and a ticket into the EUCF.
Yeah, a much more level final. Of course, last season it was all about that absolute domination and shutout. 15-5 went that scoreline. But this one, that marathon point to start us off. And great effort from Polar Bus. They were doing some great sort of hang time there as well, having sort of just sat there at the back of the pack for the match defense. But Flora Scala going up with both hands, exactly the right claw motion this time, and it takes the win for Jinx Midnight. Well, that will wrap us up here for the women's division. Your full standings, though, since all of the other games have concluded. Jinx Midnight at the top of the standings, of course, just in front of us over YAKA, then BFD, Moon Cup, East Block, Jet Set Love, Iceni and Box Vienna to round out your Elite Invite placements. The beginning of this women's division season, oh my goodness, it's been such a wild ride, Steph.
Wild ride indeed. A great kickoff to the season. We've had the spring tour, now Elite Invite, tomorrow's rankings. Everybody's going to have a keen eye on them. Take a look at these match stats. Again, break chances equal. What we're done with them, the big difference here. 5 conversions out of 9 for Jinx. The tail of the difference here with the 3-point lead, and another big win. I think we're going to go right into our trophy presentation here soon. It's going to happen very shortly after the Spirit Circle, and
I'm pleased to announce as well that we have the inside track as well on the Spirit winners.
Well, look at that.
Iceni in the women's division, which is we love to see it. Spirit of the game, such an important part of this self-refereed sport. So well-deserved credits to the Londoners as well. But yeah, this is just, I'm so excited for the rest of this season, Stefan. It really is a joy to cover the women's division here in Europe. Such fantastic games. And as you already mentioned, it will be Jinx Midnight who are guaranteed to get themselves to the European Championship finals in Ostend, just a couple of miles north of this venue in Leuven, of course.
Yep, the guaranteed ticket, their ranking will still determine their ranking amidst all 16 once we get to EUCF, so they still have to, keep on winning, stay ranked ahead if they're going to be number 1, but they will most certainly be at the EUCF, the very first guaranteed team to be announced. As we still wait just a few minutes here for the Spirit Circle, Nemo with the Golden Donut. I'm not sure that's the official name, but I like it for now. 3rd year this event has been run, Hannah, and it's been a great addition to the European series. Now, every new year since that, just taking a bit more shape and a bit more shape, and now with the full algorithm, ranking system, sanctioned events, EUF approved events, everything is coming into play to shape up the Grand Championship. There you have a look at Nemo Felix Nemec, the event manager here, holding what I'm going to refer to just one more time as that golden donut.
I can see what you mean. I think it needs a little bit more juiciness to really go for the full donut. I mean, in my mind, I think it looks a little bit like, and this is going to be a real cringe reference, bit Quidditch goal vibes, the kind of things you put the quaffle through. But it's all about the Belgian waffles, of course, here in Leuven. It's been a delightful experience, as always. Great organisation from Jet Set and fantastic work from the European Ultimate Federation as well, putting on a really great show here. But I am so excited to see what happens. Tell you what, those extra couple of personnel adding to this Jinx Midnight roster, their defense, wow, my oh my, it is going to be quite the affair at that EUCF finals later on this year. But let's have a quick look at some of the best plays of this game. Of course, Jinx Midnight 13-9, the eventual win. So Jinx Midnight, your new Elite Invite Women's Champions for 2024, and what a performance that was in the final. Captain Fanjugovic being lifted up into the sky. Sarah Melvin, unfortunately not able to make an impact too much on the final after that injury that saw her leave the field, but 5th overall on the stats board, total of 24, 10 assists and 12 goals. Fantastic scenes from the Berliners celebrating here in the sun. But that will wrap us up for the women's division. Thank you so much to all of the organisation and all of the teams for your hard work. We will be bringing you, though, of course, the other two finals. It will be the open division next up, and it's an all-Belgian affair. Gentle of Ghent versus Mooncatchers of Brussels. So lots of familiar faces playing it out on the fields here in Leuven, the home, of course, of Jet Set. And in the mixed division later on this afternoon, we will be having Lemmings Ultimate Leamington Lemmings versus Seskidistas of Strasbourg, France. I've been Hannah Pendlebury for Stefan Rapazzo and all of our Ulti TV crew. Thank you so much for joining us. We will see you on the other side.
You